Sometimes life surprises me, and I find remedies which improve my long-term illness in the most unexpected places. Who would have guessed that Paris would be one of those places? This discovery is all the more surprising because I've been forced to live mostly housebound for over 17 years due to the illness, which began suddenly when I was exposed to toxic chemicals in a new office building. So often when I leave my home, I just grow sicker because pollution levels generally are higher than inside my home, and I can't control what I'm exposed to. For this reason, I haven't been out and about much for many years. For the last few years, however, I've been able to follow my dream of living part-time in Paris. Not only do I enjoy France, but I'm in generally better health here than at home, partly because the chemical levels in the food, air, and fragrances here are generally lower than at home, at least in the ones that I'm sensitive to. For example, my food in Paris spoils about 3 times faster than in Seattle because of its lower chemical levels. I'm certainly still sick in Paris and sometimes housebound here as well, but my illness here is less severe. But another reason that my health improves in Paris has to do with what is called rotating. Rotating involves changing my routines periodically, which throws my body into just enough confusion and chaos that it seems to trigger it to function at more optimal levels. It's something close to how, in the chaos of a fire, a few men have enough strength to lift an automobile when normally they do not. This concept of rotating is even used by athletes and medical doctors. A tennis player might cross-train to develop more strength and endurance than she would achieve by playing tennis alone. So the tennis player might, in addition to developing her tennis skills, also lift weights or swim. Even medical doctors use a kind of rotation method to improve a medication's effectiveness. Sometimes when a patient has been on a drug a long while, the medication ceases to be as effective, so a doctor will suggest changing to a new one. I've used this idea of rotating in my own life to improve my illness and quality of life. Instead of taking the same stomach medication every day, I have 3 different ones that I use, and I change them every 2 weeks. I find that this helps keep them significantly more effective over time than taking the same one. My body can get lazy from having the same thing all the time. Rotating even helps minimize the pain and inflammation that I get from working on my computer. I use 4 different devices to work on my computer: the trackpad on my laptop, a trackball, and a horizontal mouse, and I change them periodically. The benefits of rotating have become even more apparent when I'm in Paris. When I arrive here, the drastic change in diet, air, and climate seem to throw my body into chaos, and it seems to shake off some of its unhealthy patterns and reactions. But it also helps that I'm exposed to less chemicals here as well. If I hadn't come to Paris, I wouldn't have realized that I could benefit by rotating some of my healthcare providers too. Coming to Paris showed me that my body can stop responding as well to healthcare providers' treatments after a long while, just as it can do with medications. You see, to pull off my dream of living in Paris without my health spinning out of control, I've had to assemble a healthcare team here. On some days, having completely new healthcare providers and ones who speak a foreign language can seem maddening and chaotic, but I found that my body responds better to their treatments because they're new. So now, having learned this, when I return to Seattle, I rotate healthcare providers there, at least among the providers who are giving me specific treatments. So for example, I now have 3 acupuncturists, and I rotate among them when their treatments become less effective. In the end, rotating has not only improved my health, but it has led to a wonderful new life in a distant world. What a lovely, unexpected byproduct it has been. Would you like to see a movie about my story, filmed here in Paris by documentary filmmaker Jack Matityahu? Then go to my website and click on the link, My Movie.